What's up, YouTube? Tonight's video is all about the games I picked up during the month of July 2015. First thing I'm going to start off with is this month's video game shirt I got, and I'm really excited about this one because I love these characters, and I've never seen a shirt with them on it before. So I just got this in the mail today, and it is a Pocky and Rocky shirt with, of course, Pocky and Rocky on it. I don't know if you can totally see that where I'm sitting, so it's pretty big print actually, but hopefully that shows it off. But yeah, very excited to get this. Always been a Pocky and Rocky fan, and hopefully they'll make some more games in that series if someday. Kind of a collaboration between Taito and Natsume over the years, so very good stuff. We're going to start off with some Sega systems first. And the first thing I got was actually a complete game for the Sega Master System. I don't have a ton of Master System games, and that's basically just because I don't see them very often around my area. But this is a complete copy of the original Shinobi, and very happy to add this. I always like this game. Then we'll move on to some Sega Genesis games. First one of these is a paper box game, and most of these are usually pretty beat up or disappeared entirely. So I always like to grab these whenever I can find them. But the first one of these I got is Doom Troopers. And I don't know, I haven't played it yet, but I'm hoping this game won't be too bad. Next one I got is one that I've passed by a million times and never thought I wanted this game, until I found out it is actually a Taito game. And that is Buster Douglas Boxing for the Genesis. Sega published this game, however they did not develop it. It was a Taito arcade game called Final Blow, and the Mega Drive version is also Final Blow, I believe. They just put Buster Douglas in for the American version, changed around some sprites and whatnot, but otherwise it's a Taito game. And I confirmed that too by reading a little thing here on the back that says licensed from Taito. So being a huge Taito fan, I just really wanted this game for that. I'm sure it's not very good. Next Genesis thing I got is an upgrade. This now has a manual, so it is complete, and that is the compile-made game Ghostbusters, which is a fantastic game. Has very little to do with the movie, but a lot of fun, and really good graphics for an early Genesis game. Another game that I turned my copy into a complete copy this month is the very popular Hyperstone Heist. So very happy to get the manual for that because not one I see very often, at least loose. Next one I got is one that I've just had a loose card of for a while now. So my friend gave me a box for it. It's got a little sun fade, so still hoping to upgrade this to a nicer box and find a manual. But this game is getting so expensive, I thought it'd be nice to at least have it in some kind of box. And that is The Punisher, which very average Capcom beat 'em up that I don't really know why this game's so expensive, because it's really not that good. Next one is another upgrade. This is just one that I got a box for this month, and that is Boogerman. Not something I really like, but whatever. Next one I do like, and this one I also upgraded. This is now a complete copy, and that is McDonald's Treasureland Adventure. I don't care how kiddie you think that sounds, McDonald's-wise, but this game was developed by the game company Treasure, and it's a lot of fun. Definitely a highlight of the Genesis. Last thing I got for the Genesis is just another upgrade. Really was more a month of upgrading than new purchases this month. And that is, now I have a box copy for Back to the Future 3, which, again, has some sun fade, but whatever. It's better than having a loose card. So that is all I got for the Sega Genesis and Master System this month. Next thing I'm going to show you are the games I got for the Sega Saturn this month, which, as you all know, if you've been watching my videos, I'm going for a complete set of US Sega Saturn games. I picked up 4 more games this month. Yep, 4 more games. And that gets me down to 21 left I need for the complete set. So closing in on that. Hopefully I'll be able to do that over the next few months. There's a few big hitters I still need, but I'm getting there bit by bit, day by day. So first thing I got is Brain Dead 13, which I believe this is just like a point-and-click animated type game. This game came out for a lot of systems, actually. It's out on Saturn, PS1, 3DO, and I believe even the Jaguar CD has a port of this game. So kind of strange that this game got, and it's PC also, but it's kind of strange this game got so many releases for, I don't really think it's sold on any of the systems that it came out on, but yeah, it was just one I didn't really see very often on the Saturn. It's been tough for me to find. This next one is one I'm very happy to get knocked off my list, and this is the last Working Designs published game for the Sega Saturn that I needed. So that is Shining Wisdom. I do need to get a better case. This one's kind of cracked, but otherwise it's all there, and very happy to find this, finally. Next one is one I probably also won't play, but one that for some reason I just couldn't find very often, and that is Loaded. This came out on the PlayStation as well, and for some reason the Saturn one just is pretty difficult to find in my area, so happy to get that knocked out. Last one is another one that for some reason on the Saturn this game is very difficult to find, but that is Batman Forever, the arcade game, and typical Acclaim horribleness, but very happy to get this just because been looking for it for a while. So closing in on the Saturn, just a few of the big ones I still need are like House of the Dead and the 2 Mega Man games, but outside of that, some of that 21 games is just common, so I don't know. I'm going to chip away at it, continue to chip away at it, and hopefully I'll make it someday soon. The next system I'll cover is the Sony PSP. I got a couple games for that this month. This first one I just picked up because I didn't really know much about it, and I got it really cheap. But that is Mimana ER Chronicle. Yeah, just probably another JRPG, but I hadn't seen this one very often, so I decided to pick it up. The next one I'm much more excited about, and this is one I was looking for. This is another Xseed title, and it's also part of the Ys series, which I've always liked. And this is remakes of the very first Ys games, so it's Ys 1 and 2 Chronicles. Very happy to get this. Nice artwork on the box, and very cool game. I like this series a lot, so very nice to pick that up finally. Continuing with Sony systems, I'll go over the games I got for the original PlayStation this month. First one of these is one that back in the day was very easy to find, and for some reason this game just seems to have dried up. I don't know where all the copies of it went, but I happened to find one in a store in my area recently and decided to go ahead and get it, and that is Breath of Fire 3 by Capcom. So I now have Breath of Fire 1, 2, and 3, and I don't have 4 or 5, and I guess that's where the series stopped. I don't know if there's any more besides that. Next one I got is just one that, I don't know, I've seen this game a million times. I just never decided to buy it before now, but that is Soul Blade. And this was the prequel to the much more popular Soul Calibur. So thought I'd give it a try. I mean, some of those Namco fighters on the PlayStation, and they look a little dodgy these days, but decided to get this because it was a first print copy, so we'll see how it is. Speaking of Namco games on the PlayStation, this is one that is very difficult to find, and I was happy to pick this up this month, and that is Tales of Destiny 2. I just hardly ever see this game. It's a 3-disc game for the PlayStation, and probably pretty good. I do like the other games in the Tales series I played, so hopefully give this a shot pretty soon. And the last thing I got for the PlayStation, nothing essential really, because I have this on a compilation already, but that is Mega Man X6. Just decided to get a standalone copy because it was pretty cheap and easily available, so nice to have that. Alright, next we'll move on to some Nintendo systems. And I got a few games for the GameCube this month. My GameCube buying has slowed down quite a bit because I feel like I have just about everything I want on that system. So I got a few more this month, just decided to add them to the collection, but I feel like I'm slowing down quite a bit on GameCube. The first one of these is Pikmin 2, and heard tons of good things about this game over the years, just never had a copy of it for myself, so hoping to try this out and see what all the fuss is about. This next one is one that I don't see very often, and I got a very good price on this, so I was happy to find this, and that is Lost Kingdoms 2. This one seems to be creeping up in value lately, so yeah, looking forward to giving that a shot. This next one is a Player's Choice title, which I don't care to have in my collection, but I was given this game totally free, and that is Sonic Mega Collection. So I will keep this as a placeholder until I get a non-Player's Choice version. And the last game I got for the GameCube is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 Mutant Nightmare. Only reason I really wanted this one is because it has Turtles in Time as a unlockable bonus inside the game. So decided that would be nice to have on the GameCube. Next thing I got some games for is the Wii, and just a couple this month. First one of these is Dewey's Adventure. Don't really know much about this other than it's a Konami game and it looks pretty weird. So I thought I'd give it a shot. Looks like it has a lot of motion control in it, which not really a big fan of, but we'll see how it is. The next one I got for the Wii is one that I was more interested in, and that is Bomberman Land. Always like adding Bomberman games to the collection. Looks like this has some of the old school Bomberman action along with some 3D Bomberman crap that I don't really care about. But this is a more difficult game to find on the Wii than it really seems like it should be. So I also like that it actually has a Hudson Soft logo on it, unlike most of the Bomberman games of the last decade or so that were published by other companies. So this was the brief moment when Hudson came back after Konami bought them out, and then now they're essentially dead again. So now we'll move on to some portable Nintendo systems. I got some games for the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and the DS this month. The first one of these is for the Game Boy, and that is Mega Man 2. Just never had this copy. I kept holding out for this because every time I would find it, it would be a player's choice version. So it was nice to get an original pressing of this. This is the second to last Game Boy Mega Man I need. Unfortunately, the last one I need is still Mega Man 5, which is the one that goes for the big bucks. So hopefully I'll be able to find that someday at a decent price. Next I picked up Darkwing Duck, and I just don't see this one very often. I don't know if it's somewhat rare or not, but thought I'd decide to get that. Next one's a little weirdo of some of the ones I got, and that is Fighting Simulator. This is one of the weird Culture Brain games, and I believe it also has Flying Warriors in the cartridge too, so it's 2 games in one. And the last thing I got for the Game Boy is a cheap copy of Pokemon Yellow. Just never had this, and essentially now that I have Red, Blue, and Yellow, I'm done buying Pokemon games. That's really the only ones I wanted, just because I'm collecting for the original Game Boy, and I really have no interest in Pokemon beyond that. The last thing I got for the Game Boy is a boxed game, which essentially anything I find boxed for the Game Boy at a cheap price, I'm going to pick it up just because there are hardly any boxes for the Game Boy left. But that is T2, the arcade game. Probably nothing special there, but the box was nice. And then we'll move on to Game Boy Color. I got another Mega Man game for the Game Boy Color, and that is Mega Man Extreme 2. I have not played any of the games in the Extreme series, so I don't really know how this is going to be, but hopefully give that a shot soon. I think these are the ones that have Zero as the star and not Mega Man, but I'm not positive about that, so we'll see how that is. The other one I got for Game Boy Color is Complete, and I was much more excited to get this. And this is going to sound weird that I was wanting this game, but that is Monster Rancher Explorer. This is actually not a true Monster Rancher game, and the reason I wanted this game is I found out that this is part of the Solomon's Key series, which I've always really liked. So you have Solomon's Key, you have Fire and Ice, which is the official sequel to it, and then this is kind of a remake of the original game that's included in this. They threw in some Monster Rancher characters to make it more marketable, but however, it plays just like Solomon's Key. It's really good stuff, and very happy to have this. The only complaint I have about this particular copy is the box is very smashed, and the seller kind of portrayed it as being in mint condition, which it definitely is not. So if I ever find a better box for that, I'm going to upgrade that because I was a little disappointed. I also got one game for the Game Boy Advance, and this is complete as well. That is Motocross Maniacs Advance. Have not played this game in the series. I do like the original Motocross Maniacs on the Game Boy, so hopefully this is pretty good. Seems to be one of the earlier Konami games that came out for the Advance, so I don't know. I don't see this very often, at least in the box, but I was pretty happy to find this. Then I got 2 games for the DS this month. The first one of these is one that I had been kind of looking for. I got a good price on this, so I'm hoping to check this out pretty soon, and that is Time Hollow. Looks to be kind of a visual novel type game. Have barely started it to see how it is, but I don't know. I watched a couple YouTube reviews of this game. It sounded like it had some promise, so hopefully check this out pretty soon. The last thing I got for the DS is Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, and just another game in the Castlevania series I didn't have. I'm sure it's more of the Metroidvania style that I'm not really crazy about, but I figure it's still 2D and I needed to have it in the collection. So first one of the DS games I've actually have in that series, and now I guess there's a couple more I need to find. I got a couple Super Nintendo games this month, and these are both complete. They're far from mint, but at least they are boxed with manual. I actually got these at a pawn shop for a really good price. And the first one of these is Battle Cars, which is a very Mode 7 heavy looking car combat type game. So never played it before, but it's a Namco game. I'm sure I'll probably like it alright. The other one I got that's complete I was more excited about because this is a Taito game. I've owned the cartridge of this forever. I just never had a box of manual for it. And that is Super Chase HQ, which I always have liked the Chase HQ series. I think it's a little underrated. And I really like this box because it has my favorite car of all time on the cover, and that is the Ferrari 512 TR, better known as the Testarossa in its earlier version. So very cool to have that on there. Even has another picture of the 512 TR on the back. So nice box there to add to the collection, and chipping away at my complete Taito collection that I'm going for. So really that does it for the games this month. I didn't have a stupendous month for game buying this month. I did get some manuals and boxes though, so I wanted to show those off as well. First thing we'll go through is some of the loose NES manuals. These are just upgrades, so now I have these with manual. And first one of those is for Karnov. Always liked that game, but I just never had the manual. I got a couple Taito manuals I needed, so I got Legend of Kage and also Elevator Action. This one I don't see often, and that is Legends of the Diamond by Bandai. And then finally, I got Laser Invasion, which is the game that comes with the crappy laser scope accessory if you purchase that. So if this manual even had a coupon to save $10 on the laser scope to upgrade your copy with the accessory. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. I take that back. I do have one other NES manual, and this one is for my all-time favorite game on the NES. This game is a monster to find complete, so I still need a box for this. If you know where I can get a box for this at a good price, please let me know. But that is for Gunnak, and this is a fantastic shooter. It's super underrated. Awesome game. The one thing that's neat about the manual, too, is it's this super tall format. It's more like an RPG in the manual style. But it's also bilingual, and I guess maybe that's why they gave it the tall manual, so it has French in it as well, which is kind of ahead of its time if you think about manuals today. But very happy to add this to my collection. If I get a box for this game, I'll just be jumping, because I've always loved Gunnak, and just never see boxes of manuals for it. I did get one loose Super Nintendo manual. It's not in fantastic condition, but it's for a game I like, and that is Super Adventure Island. And then I got some boxes. So I got a pretty nice box for Back to the Future NES. I got a box and manual for this one. This is for Super Nintendo. I got Joe and Mac. And then I also got a box for Ghosts and Goblins, which is one of my favorite NES games too. So very nice to have that. It's in pretty good condition. And like I said, that pretty much does it for the month. Not one of my biggest months, so hopefully you guys liked this video. Please take a moment, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. Have a great day or night wherever you are, and I will talk to you soon.